Hello, good morning, everyone. Um, what I realized is I never introduce myself at the beginning of my videos. And then when I watch other people's videos, they're always introducing themselves. So I apologize. I probably will forget to do it later, but today I remembered. So my name is Brenda, and from B.laster Works, a little play on my name. I got the name, well, I didn't get the name. I mean, I got married and got the name Laster, but when I started working at Lens Crafters many moons ago, and people would call me B.laster. Uh, Even the companies, outside companies, would call and ask for B.laster. So I kind of got that name. And then they would call me B.laster, the master of disaster, in a good way. So that's me, Brenda, and welcome to my channel. So today I want to get started. It's November 2nd, Saturday, and I want to get started on the Scrappy 8 November challenge. It's a very low-key challenge. November is a time that we usually take to reflect on because we have Thanksgiving, and a lot of times you get to stay with family or family comes over, and all those good things, good food, everything like that. But the reality is, what we're thankful for, right? What we're grateful for, what we have gratitude for. So we have the Scrappy 8. We have a low key challenge, so it's not, you don't have to post every day or whatever. You can post as often as you like for the month of November, or even just at the end of the month and show us what you did. But the challenge is every day, just write down what you're grateful for or thankful. You can put it on a little piece of paper and put it in a jar. You can decorate the jar. You can make a journal, small journal, big journal. You can create an art piece, and add, all your gratitudes on there, whatever you feel like doing. Um, so my first response when Anna posted the challenge on our Scrappy 8 Facebook page, my first response was, oh, I get to use my, little chocolate boxes that I just acquired at World Market. If you watch my trash talk, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. And I also did like a little reel showing all the goodies I bought at World Market, but it's this little box, okay? Um, and then this morning, when I was gonna figure out what I'm gonna do for my, well, I figured it out yesterday, but I'm still working on expanding the idea. I realized, oh, my last Scrappy 8 challenge, I use this. This is the one that has the door on it. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess anytime we have Scrappy 8 challenges, I'll use this as part of the challenge, like to store the challenge, or I could make a journal in here, which was my first intent, was to make a journal and then write out all my gratitude. And then I'm like, no, let's try to make it simple, which means the opposite. When I say simple, I mean the opposite, actually. So instead of making a journal, I then decided after I got home from work, I'm like, no, I'm going to do like the whole, just write something down and put it in, right? So then this will just be like a container, storage container. I'm like, well, what do I write on? And then I thought of, well, November, fall, leaves. Okay. So then last night, where are my leaves at? Oh, last night I took the time to cut out die cuts, 30 leaves. Okay. So I have these. I just used old gel prints, um, brayer clean offs, stuff like that. So then I cut out some leaves. So now I have these, and I have my container. All right. And so I figured, I can put it in there, and then I'll write on the back of the leaves. Okay. But some of the leaves are white, some aren't, and some are like black, but they're all different. So then I was like, well, okay, yeah, that's simple enough, right? But then to me, it's like, oh, I got to do more. Of course, Brenda, because you can't just stop there. So today, which I already have my gratitude for yesterday, I already have it in my head. And I'll explain that more on Trash Talk, because that's also part of my selfie. But I do have that. And then today I also have my gratitude, but I have to put my little thing together first before I can add those to it. But I already have what I'm thankful for these first 2 days of November. But today, this morning, I think I'm going to take my leaves and sew them. Hold on one second. Let me grab the fabric. I have this. Whee, I have this huge. This is like a tie dye. A huge It's a ginormous piece of fabric. It's I think it's like a blanket for the beach, maybe. It's real thin, like a scarf material. Not real thin, but does it have any words on it? I don't know, but it has like an image, like a silhouette image on it of a butterfly. I don't know, I can't tell. That's how big it is. I can't tell what the image is. But I'm just going to use, there's like a orangey part on here. Oh, hold on. First I was just going to use a black t-shirt, but I think this is just sitting around, right? Taking up space. So I think I'm going to glue first, glue my leaves onto the fabric, and then possibly, um, I won't say I'll sew around it because as you see, it's going to be kind of, but maybe I'll just sew like a little uh, vine down the middle if I can. You know, some of these might be kind of hard. I'll have to kind of go veer off or just sew through the holes, I guess. It's okay. But yeah, I think I'll just sew down the middle because I don't think I can sew around the edges. I'm not that good. I could give it a shot, but yeah, we'll see how that turns out. But so that's today's project at the minimum, is to do that. So I'm gonna take all my leaves and glue them onto fabric. And I still need to figure out where I'm going to write the gratitude, because I wanted to write it on, because I'm just going to do like one word gratitude, or try to keep it minimal, not like a whole paragraph. So I was thinking I could just write it on there, but if I do this, and then it'll be solid, and then maybe on the back of the leaf, I can, hold on, like type it out on another piece of paper and then glue that to the back. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be like a little strip on the back of the fabric, and it'll have what I'm grateful and thankful for. All right, hope that made sense. So that's what I'm going to do. I won't show that on camera, but I'll show you when I'm done. So this morning I'm going to do that with all 30 leaves. And then I'm still trying to figure out, I can still just drop them in my little container, which I would have to decorate, of course. I'm not going to just leave it like a chocolate box. But you know me, that's probably a little too a little too simple. I mean, not the sewing part, but just dropping it in there. So I'm still thinking, and hopefully I'll add it to this video, or there'll be another video update once I decide how I'm going to do this. But for today and right now, I'm going to sew these leaves onto the fabric. All right, so hopefully I'll be back today. All right, hold on. I'm back just for a quickie, quickie insert here. Before I sew them onto, or glue them onto the fabric and then sew, I had decided to ink the edges on all the leaves, just to make them pop out a little bit better. And then while doing that, I realized some of these, like these green ones, are really thick. I mean, not real thick, but you know what I mean. They're pretty sturdy, and I like the way these feel. And then I have some, like this one, that are very fragile feeling. So before I glue them and sew them to the fabric, I'm thinking with these thinner ones, and this one's kind of thick, but kind of in between. It's in between this and the thin ones. But I think I'm going to put down like some wax paper, lay out my leaves, and then top them with a semi-gloss like glaze, so that they kind of resemble these. Like they're not real glossy, but a little bit. And I might even actually, now that I think about it, I might even add some crackle glaze here and there on them, and just make them a little bit more thicker, because some of these are pretty fragile, and I don't want them to break or tear. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm doing those steps first, in case you decide to do something similar. And I don't want your leaves to fall apart either. So, yeah, so I'm going to do that now, and then I'll be back once I, again, have everything all put together. The leaves. All right. All right. Well, I thought I'd show you a little part of what I'm doing, and so you can kind of see how long this is taking. These are the leaves I've already got done. Insert a picture here how I glued it all onto the fabric, and I used glitter glue, went all the way around the edges and in the middle, and then just glued it down. I did try the fabric fusion. It was a little harder, and I think it's because the leaves, I had the Mod Podge on the front and the back, and I think it wasn't sticking that much to the back of the leaf, is why I was having a hard time. So the glitter glue worked fine. So now I've cut them out of the fabric and I'm left with like this. So let me show you, turn this on, see if that helps. So I'll just show you like the steps I'm going through here. So then once I cut it out, now I am at an angle, kind of cutting a little bit behind the leaf where I can, getting as close to the edge as I can without cutting the leaf. So far I've already cut one stem off, but that's not too bad, I guess. But I'm not done. So I'm trying not to cut the stems off in the leaves, the tips here. That's why I kind of go at an angle under that, back. Oop, it's hard to get it started sometimes. There we go. I'm not trying to be too perfect though. Just trying to get as close as possible. Because a lot of these leaves have a lot of dips and stuff into. All right. And then what I do when I have like a little piece like that is I'm just using my fingernail to kind of rough it up a little bit. So I'm going around and then I pull any threads that might be loose. I'm going around the whole thing. See how it kind of pops up once I do that, see? And I kind of pull at it too. Go both directions. Just roughing it up. And the leaves are holding up pretty good because I did put the Mod Podge on front and back. So I have to give credit to that. And then I try to pull these out as much as I can. Just to make sure. See, like that. And then, if any of them are too long, like that one's kind of long, I'll just trim it. But I'm not trying to make it perfect. Like if a little few of them are sticking down, that's fine. Like that. And then I'm taking some brown, dark brown permanent ink and just going around the edges again. Because the sides of the leaf, when I fray up the fabric, sometimes I'm scratching it and it turns a little white. So I'm just making sure everything stays brown. All right. So now I have to do that with all of these. All right. So I'll be back when I'm done doing this. All right. Finally. I should have timed myself to see how much time I've been doing this, but I didn't figure out when I started. But so all my leaves are now glued to fabric. They are all trimmed, frayed, inked. Sorry, excuse me. Ready to go. And this will go on another day. So I'm going to end the video with this. I've decided to, and I'll show you my examples here, but let's just put these away because they're going to go in here for now. And then I'll hopefully decorate the box this coming up week, and then have a video by next Saturday. So maybe I'll do the gratitude Scrappy 8 challenge on Saturdays, like just a weekly update. But for today, we just cut out our leaves. I used scrap gel prints for the leaves. I used Tim Holtz die cuts for the die cut, and then I Mod Podged with the Mod Podge matte, which kind of has a slight gloss to it. I did that on both sides of the leaves to make them a little bit more sturdy. And then I glued them to fabric using glitter glue. And then I trimmed, frayed the edges, inked with some permanent brown ink. And this is where we stand now. I did try crackle glaze. I don't know if you'll be able to see that because of the glare, but it does look kind of cool. I don't think I'll do it on the leaves though, because one, it takes too long to dry, and two, I don't know, just just a lot of work. I've also decided not to sew. I think the glue is good enough. Again, I am trying to keep it a little bit simple, and I'm lazy, so I'm not going to glue. I'm not going to sew. I'm just going to. These are going to be the leaves, and then I've decided I'm going to write my thankful or gratitude, grateful, whatever you want to call it, whatever I'm grateful for at the end of the day, so that I can pick a word or something that reflects for that day. So it could be very minimal. It could be something, huge. I'm going to just kind of think outside the box and try to do that. So for yesterday, which was Friday, my gratitude or what I'm thankful for was my work family. All right. So this is how I'm going to do it. And I'm using some old, this is not real, this is a fake dictionary paper that you get in like those monthly subscription box. When I first started with learning junk journals and stuff like that, I did subscribe just to out of curiosity to see what you got, and you do get a lot of paper. But it didn't take long for me to realize that I prefer real vintage paper versus made, and I don't do digitals very often for the same reason. I just like to use real vintage or real paper that I rust dyed or coffee dyed or whatever. I'm not against it. That's my preference. So I have tons of that paper, so I might as well start using it for this and in my scraps and stuff. So yeah, so yesterday's gratitude was for my work family. Okay, and then today I already got my gratitude today just doing this. Should be patience, but it's not. And that is my creativity. I am very thankful and grateful for my creativity. I know sometimes it's a little out there, and I know it's not for everyone, but I'm thankful that I have it because I mean, everyone has creativity. It's just how much you tap into it. And I've just started tapping into mine within the last few years, I think, more and more. With that said, and for now, I'm just going to store them in here until I figure out what I'm going to do. But with that, I didn't start off doing this kind of stuff like junk journals and vintage paper and mixed media, all that. I was more of a drawing artist. Like I like to draw and then use colored pencil, um, and then that was my main thing. And then from there I went to, well, I'm going to dabble, I'm going to see about acrylic paints. So I painted my dog one day. That was a few years ago, just for fun, because when you go to the stores and you see all these cartoony looking dogs, and it's never your dog. So I was like, I want a little painting of Hansi, kind of a pop art, bright, colored painting. So I did that, and I posted it on Facebook, and this is it right here. I'll show it here. So that was my first dabbling in acrylic paints. Well, not my first, but actually serious dabble. And I posted it, and a lot of people liked it. And then one person reached out and asked if I would do her dog and how much would I charge. And I had no idea because I'd never done anything like that before. So so I answered her, and she's like, "All right, cool. I want my dog." And so it took off from there. And then I did people's pets for probably I'd say a good year and a half, 2 years, just word of mouth, just mostly my Facebook friends is where I was doing, and neighbors, you know. And so with that, I'm telling you that because now the reason I'm stopping this here and not continuing on is because I do have to paint some cats, and I want to get that started. So I'm going to start prepping the canvas and mapping out how I'm going to paint it. That pick out colors, that kind of thing, and try to get that started so I can get that done within the next month and a half. So yeah, so that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the day. And thanks for joining me. If you guys join our Scrappy 8 low-key challenge for November, I guess for now we could still just use the Scrappy 8 challenge hashtag, since it's a Scrappy 8 challenge. Maybe put November on the, I don't know. I'm just using the Scrappy 8 challenge hashtag when I do these. So, but yeah, use that. Tag us if you're on Instagram, just so we can see and share your creations. If you don't mind, unless you want to keep it personal, that's fine too. But hopefully, I'll have an update by next Saturday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Sunday, so I'll see you on Trash Talk. All right, take care, everyone. Just